Hey guys, so you may or may not have already seen this on my YouTube channel because I did like post this compilation video of all the illustrations, but since the test print is actually here, I created another deck. Yay! Ever since I started actually reading tarot, I've created an oracle deck that we're not going to talk about anymore. So that's, but I do count it a tarot, an oracle, another tarot, an oracle, an oracle. So this is my 7th deck already. And this one's kind of special because it kind of is a lot of the earlier decks are really cute and kind of have a sense of rawness to them, raw energy that I really love. But I felt like a lot of my artwork could use an upgrade. So if you already own a couple of my older decks, for example, the Primordial Warrior Oracle or the Primordial Compass Tarot, you will find some art that looks kind of reminiscent of art that you already have. But I really feel like I could do them more justice and I could launch it a bit bigger than just on Make playing cards. So before we start the whole flip through, I want to mention I'm gonna do a Kickstarter for this eventually. But first I want the world to have my Oracle deck, the Brother to Brother Oracle. I want that to be shipped out and taken care of before I ask y'all for money again, because that would feel really rude. I just want to quickly go through all of these and yeah, it's not in order, obviously, because I've been playing with this incessantly ever since I got it. I really love this 8 of Wands. So most of the art in here isn't new at all. It's either remastered versions from the Primordial Compass Tarot and the Primordial Warrior Oracle that I did, or it's art that I had done but didn't have a place for yet, or didn't really have use for yet, because I've started and stopped at least 10 decks since I finished my my last one. And done in between. So yeah, that's kind of the deal. But yeah, most of the art you might recognize. By the way, whoops, messing up my cute crystal arrangement here. This is what the backs look like to kind of match the Brother to Brother Oracle, because I kind of want them to be brothers. So these are the backs for the Brother to Brother Oracle, and these are the backs for this yet unnamed deck, although I do have an inkling of what I might want to call it. So yeah, where do I keep these extra cards now? I'm going to do that right here. So yeah, I'm just going to, flip through it and show you guys, tell something about it. So this was already in the Primordial Compass Tarot. It's just been upgraded, remastered, cleaned up a little bit. This is from a tarot deck that I tried to create but never came to fruition. So it's kind of a best of. Same here. I was very heavily inspired by Crowley's Thoth Tarot, Lady Frida Harris's artwork, as well as the Visconti Sforza Tarot deck. You will see that in a minute. This is a piece of art that you can find in my Brother to Brother Oracle as well. This is completely new. I completely redid this Sun card, so that's nice. I really like the way it looks. It's also very vibrant. And the 7 of Discs, I really enjoy. As you can see, there are affirmations at the top of each card. I really wanted this deck to be a deck for... I wanted this deck to be the deck... How do I say that? I wanted this... I'm also getting a little emotional as I'm saying this, which is kind of weird. I really wish this would have been the deck that I would have found on the market when I started reading tarot. I wish that I would have had a deck exactly like this. So for all the baby gay tarot witches out there that, you know, are starting out, this one's kind of for you. You know, that a deck that would have really spoken to my soul. The Nurturer, this is completely new art. As is this Six of Discs, is also completely new. As is the Six of Swords, and I love for the suits of swords and wands, a lot of the embellishments are inspired by the Visconti Sforza. I had sort of already drawn this, not really knowing what it was for, and then I was looking for a Six of Swords, and then I found out that the swallow and bird symbology, or one of the symbologies, is that it revolves around letting go and moving on and moving forward. So I loved that. So that was a perfect match. And when I say this art is old or older, doesn't mean that I completely redid every piece of art. Nothing was copy pasted because I used to work analog. So these are all physical drawings stuck in a drawer here. So I redid all of them. This one's also sort of new. It's going to be really difficult to explain to you all where every image came from. The Hermit is actually an image from the Brother to Brother, or not the Brother to Brother Oracle, the Primordial Warrior Oracle, slightly changed. Although, honestly, like, so they're different art. They're the same art, but the vibe is so different. Judgment is very new. I loved the Judgment that I did for my Primordial Compass Tarot, and I wanted to keep that, but I'm much better at drawing now, so I redid it. And I added the Violet Flame, kind of that flame of transmutation and true calling and rebirth rather than an angel blowing a horn, because we've seen that, you know? The Four Cups, I love it. Love the way it looks. Love Narwhal. The Five of Cups. Now this is completely new. I had never drawn this before. This was a lot. This was a lot of work, y'all. A lot of work. The Four of Wands, very thothy, which I like. And the Magus. So this was back when I did my Primordial Compass Tarot. This was the second card that when I started doing the Primordial Compass Tarot, it was all kind of sigilly, non-peoply. Then I got to the Lovers, and I was like, but I really want the Lovers to be two men because of me, because of the fact that I'm gay, I'm attracted to guys. And then I did it, and I was like, oh, I can draw guys now, so I need to go back and, you know, redraw all these cards with human figures. And this is the exact same art, just redrawn, made slightly more realistic and colored in. So I love the way it turned out, and that mantra, I am the spell, is epic. Eight of Swords, I love the way this looks. I put a lot of banners in the Suit of Swords with Latin words on them, as well as in the Suit of Wands. And this means stuck. Almost in scripture, it's used a lot when they speak about tongues being stuck in their throats, like being unable to speak. So I thought that was very interesting. The Nine of Cups, this is one that I had previously drawn for a tarot deck and never got around to using, and I love the way it turned out. The Knight of Cups is probably the least changed from its original iteration in my Primordial Compass Tarot, because it looks so dope and it totally looks like Freddie Mercury, and I love him. And the World, so this was actually my most hated card in the Primordial Compass Tarot. But I was like, I do kind of want to sort of trace the art and see if I still hate it when I'm done. And I was done, and I was like, wow, I love you now. So this is probably like one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Where I feel like we very often, when we talk about the World card, a lot of readers talk about she, She is holding 2 batons. She is surrounded by the 4 beasts of the 4 elements. She is within this wreath. But it's actually supposed to be an androgynous looking person, and sensitivity alert, a hermaphrodite. So I chose to have this very androgynous looking person face in the middle. So yeah, just want a quick tidbit on that. 3 of Cups, I was amazed with myself when I saw how well these dolphins turned out. I learned so much. Once again, during this whole process, I learned so much about art, about digital art. It was amazing. The tower is another one that didn't really change that much, because I love that idea of this little perfect city under this dome. All these people inside not realizing that they're literally about to fall down. The 10 of Cups, adore it, adore it, adore it, adore it. I adore it. Perfect bliss. 6 of Wands. Now, this horse was a nightmare to draw, but I'm really glad that I pulled through these strands of hair. Like, guys, when you are working analogically, you're very much so in analog drawing on paper. Whenever you make a little mistake, you kind of have to deal with it. So drawing hair is a lot easier because you kind of have to surrender to the fact that it'll never be perfect. Digitally, you can redo everything, so this drove me insane. But I do love the way it turned out. Haha. 7 of Swords, I really like that. 7 of Swords to me, so this is also, especially with the affirmations at the top, it's very much a testament to how I read tarot, and kind of, it's almost like what legacy I want to leave behind as a reader to the world and as a deck creator. Even if I only sell like 10 copies of this, but I really hope I can do this deck right and have it produced in a bigger quantity through that Kickstarter. I love the 7 of Swords for, to me, the 7, when you tie it to the Chariot, the number 7 is a lucky number, and it's a great number, and it's a number about ownership and agency. And I wanted the 7 of Swords to be about someone not stealing 7 swords or stealing 5 swords and leaving 2 behind. It's about taking back what was already yours to begin with. That's what 7 of Swords is about to me. It's not about stealing from someone or having someone steal from you. That's not what it's about at all. At least to me. 5 of Swords. We're getting a lot of swords here. I like that. Oh, the star. So this is from the Primordial Warrior Oracle. It has been changed a little bit, but the core idea of this art is. The Devil is completely new. The Devil's usually scary, but I want it to be, I wanted him to look a bit more like, a bit more Luciferian, if you get what I'm saying, where it's kind of more about that one-winged fallen angel energy, kind of. So I think I managed to do that. This is an illustration from the Primordial Warrior Oracle as well. Henceforth only to be referred to as the Warrior Oracle, because it's a lot of words. Yeah, I didn't have to change that much about it, but I thought that was the perfect King of Wands energy. Also, quick news flash, if you ever wanted one of my older decks, but you were like, it's on Make Playing Cards anyways, I'll wait. When this deck the moment this deck gets fully funded on Kickstarter, whenever I do it, I will take all the old decks off of my Make Playing Cards instantly. So there's to that. You know, that will be your last chance to get the old decks. The Hangman, I am illuminated. Also, a piece of art that I did for a deck that never came to fruition, where I was like, yes, this is perfect for this deck. I love the smoke and the way it looks. I just love it, love it, love it. The 2 of Wands. I fantasize about upcoming plans. Once again, that Visconti Sforza vibe, very much present. Crown Prince of Cups, another one that is almost, apart from the face, very similar to its iteration in the Compass Tarot. I hope you guys saw that good enough. Three of Discs. This is art that I actually had already designed for a tarot deck, then decided to put in the Brother to Brother Oracle and slightly changed for this iteration of this tarot deck. Three of Swords is also for a deck that was once meant to be a new tarot deck, but I never used the art. This is a very important card to me because I feel that Three of Swords gets misread a lot, because people are very often confused. Why is there a card about heartbreak in the sword suit, which is all about thoughts? It's probably because you need to get rid of those fucking emotions and make some space for rationality. That's what that card is saying. In order for you to rationally grow, to mentally expand, sometimes you need to, get rid of that freaking heart. And that's the tea on that. The Oracle is the High Priestess. Another piece of art for a deck that never came to fruition. And I love the way it turned out. King of Cups. Oh, that pesky sun is there again. I hope it's not too bad. Well, we can still see it. I've mastered my emotions. This is my boyfriend. And this is also very similar to the Compass Tarot. As is the Fool. The Fool for the Compass Tarot. Only a couple of changes were made. Once again, these are not carbon copies. These have been painstakingly recreated because they were all analog drawings. This one is really funny, also very similar to the Compass Tarot, but completely enhanced. The dragon looked a bit derpy the way it did, so I gave him a big fat upgrade. Ace of Wands, very thothy, especially the suit of Wands has a lot of thoth influences. Knight of Discs, also very similar to the Compass iteration, yet is completely different, especially the knight himself is completely different from what it used to be. Ace of Swords, very new, very different. Visconti Sforza-esque embellishments on the sides. The Student of Discs, or Page of Discs, very much also completely new, completely different. Whoops. Four of Discs as well. This was art for that one tarot deck that never happened. So we're kind of getting this really cool hybrid deck, which is part best of, part art that I never got to use, part completely new art, and sometimes a mix of all three. The Four of Swords. Love this. This is one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. This is very Thoth inspired. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, I strongly encourage you to create your own deck because it's important to create. It's the most empowering feeling ever. That's all I'm going to say. 10 of Wands. Love this. Also came from that. Parts of this came from that one deck that never happened. And I love that all the little puzzle pieces fell into play. Sword of Justice does look a bit like the card in the Compass Tarot, but heavily upgraded. This is Archangel Michael as Justice. Seven of Wands, very thothy. I love the Seven of Wands in Thoth. It's my favorite card in the whole Thoth deck, or one of my favorites. Two of Swords, we're once again getting these Visconti Sforza embellishments, which I love, and the Rose. It's really, really cool. Looks really dope. The Crown Prince of Discs didn't change that much from the Compass Tarot. But once again, like, they were all remastered, upgraded, better looking, no more mistakes. The Moon, also one that's very similar to the original, and I loved it back then, and I love it even more now. Page of Cups is completely different from the Compostero. Like, this is completely changed, so that's pretty cool. King of Discs is pretty much the same. This used to be my favorite card. I still love it, but it's not my favorite card in this deck. But this was the one that I was the most proud of, so I wanted to kind of keep that intact. And it looks a bit like the Fool, and I did that on purpose because back then, the Fool was the first card that I did, and this was the last card that I did. So yeah. So you kind of get the world vibe. 10 of Discs is a combination of things. It's a combination of the art in the Compostero, where I very specifically try to emulate the Tree of Life, but that didn't really come across. And then for this edition, for this version, this deck, I drew this tree in the background, and I sort of had these laser beams, light beams shooting from crystal to crystal to see all the paths on the tree. The Crown Prince of Wands, it's an amalgamation of art from the Warrior Oracle and completely new stuff, and I do love it a lot. The vibe of the art in the Warrior Oracle in this is completely different, though. Temperance is just a gay-ass angel. I was really inspired by the Temperance card in the Star Tarot, and we kind of get that thoughty alchemy feel here, that art feel when we see the fire and water kind of merging into each other, that perfect sense of balance and equilibrium. Page of Swords, very new, a lot more sophisticated than in the Compostero. The Chariot. Now, this is one that you may have seen in my brother-to-brother oracle, yet also slightly different, completely drawn again and colored in. Fun story. Before it was in the brother-to-brother oracle, it was actually meant... It did look different, but it was actually meant for a tarot deck as the Chariot. So I was like, do I use it again? Yes. Because it's my art. I can do with it whatever I want. If Tony Carmine Salerno can republish 10-year-old art pieces in each freaking deck he does, I sure as hell can, do it with one piece of art, right? 7 of Cups. I focus on my truth. So we see all these shells, and they all have a little surprise in them. Except for this one. This one here is kind of boring. Which one's real? Which one's fake? Always interesting to think about. The Lovers. These guys are both from older art projects that never happened, and I decided to turn them into the Lovers. And they look amazing, and we do get the light and the dark, the element of choice and decision, yeah, and love. Ace of Discs, really, really cool. Drawing this crystal was a painstaking job, and I'm never doing it again. It's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers, and it may look very simple, but it wasn't at all. But I also chose to use those for the backs. Because the suit of discs is the best suit and the most important suit in the tarot deck. That's why. The Teacher. I actually had a completely different Hierophant. Because I still have a test print of... Oh, yeah. So the Hierophant looked like this first. This is from my Warrior Oracle, and I decided to draw a completely new one because I wasn't happy. I actually have all the old ones that changed here, but I'm not going to show them all. Just wanted to show this one really quickly. And I love him. I love him, I love him, I love him. Death, we get the owl as a symbol of death coming for this young-looking guy, because it doesn't always have to be someone old. Everyone can experience literal or allegorical death at any point in their lives. So, and parts of this owl were from the Warrior Oracle, but you know, when I started doing it digitally, I was like, the Warrior Oracle owl looks kind of difficult digitally. Looks kind of derpy in digital art, so I kind of had to rethink if I wanted him to look like that, so I redrew him. The Emperor, this really sturdy, stern-looking Viking-esque guy. Love him. King of Swords, ideas similar to the Compass Arrow, completely different execution. I used to dislike him. That was my least favorite, one of my least favorite cards from the Warrior Oracle, and it's one of my favorites in this. Two of Cups, also from a deck that never came to fruition and now finally has its place. Page of Wands, also from a deck that never came to fruition, finally found its place. Five of Wands, one of the coolest Wands cards. It's a little bit thothy, but I chose to use Seth's Staff for the Strife card. And I think it looks epic. I think it looks amazing. Five of Discs. So you may recognize this rose from the Inner Alignment Chakra Tarot, which was for sale at the Boutique London. They are now out of stock, and they haven't asked for a restock yet, and I'm completely fine with that. Before it was in that deck, it was actually for a tarot deck that never got to be, so I decided to finally give it its rightful place. Ten of Swords, I'm experiencing a mental rebirth. We see all these gorgeous, almost holy matrimony doves, wedding doves, ascending into the sky. I love that. Fate, I know when to let go of control. I had to make some changes to the old design. This is a new design. This guy is completely new. The middle guy, they both are from the Warrior Oracle. And Five of Cups, I dare to make space for grief. I adore the way this turned out. Wow. Nine of Swords, I won't succumb to cruel thoughts. I adore this. I think it looks really dope. Knight of Swords, the Compass Tarot version looked really cool, yet also really derpy, and now I completely redrew him, so it's the same idea, but completely different execution, and now it's one of the favorite cards in the deck for me. Nine of Discs, also from a tarot deck that never happened, never came into existence. And Eight of Discs, I'm prudently honing my craft. This one's completely new. It's very dark, but I love it. And last but not least, my ultimate favorite in the deck, the Crown Prince or Queen of Swords. I embody ruthless honesty. I wrote a story about this on my Instagram. So for me, Queen of Swords, I've always kind of connected to Hera. I used to watch Hercules and the Legendary Journeys on TV when I was a kid, because I had a major crush on Kevin Sorbo. And in that series, eventually you'd get to see Hera, but during the series you would only see, I think, her eye, and then a peacock feather and a peacock screech. So this is kind of an amalgamation of Kevin Sorbo as Hercules, Hera as Queen of Swords energy, combined together into my own mythology, and I love that. So yeah, that was the whole deck. Don't know when I'm going to run the Kickstarter, but I definitely am. But first, I want to make sure that everyone who backed the original Brother to Brother Oracle gets their deck in, and then it's time for this. But I just wanted to show you guys anyway, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.